Hi, and welcome to Trauma Cupcakes.
We just finished watching the
Dune.
second Dune,
Yeah.
so we're big in.
Is that like another 2-hour movie?
Yeah, it's
3.
another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Props being able to watch it. I can't sit still that long.
We had to break it up into
Two parts.
two sessions, but I mean,
That's
I also
still not bad.
yeah I read the book, and the first book is like nearly 900 pages, and I the movie condensed it down a bit, but the book was amazing. So, but it was cool to have something kind of tell the story in less than 3 hours. But yeah, what I really found fascinating about it, what I really like is the music. I'm really big into the music that's in it because it just captures the feeling really well. And Hans Zimmer is one of my favorite composers.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
people
feel
are
like
like,
he's always in a lot of stuff, and he does great.
oh yeah. I mean, he even did, I believe he did Kung Fu Panda too. And I don't know if you've watched it, but that part with the peach tree, it had this beautiful melody. I was crying in the theater because it just had, I don't know. I get affected by stuff like that pretty easily. I guess I just
You?
cry. Yeah, maybe I just cry a lot at theaters.
You?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a nerd. Yeah, me. But
You?
whenever, yeah. What was that? I tell you, I bawled, like I ugly cried in, was it Infinity War? Avengers?
Oh yeah.
What, the whole thing with Tony Stark and stuff like that. Everybody was like
I like
quiet.
you don't want to say it because you don't want to spoil something
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah. But
If I've seen it, you should have seen it by now.
yeah, okay. That part where he,
Fucking died.
yeah. But I mean, I was so mad props to Pepper Potts when she was like, it's okay. We're safe. And that's, oh, see, I'm going to cry just thinking about it. That's what he needed to hear before he was able to just let go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was ugly crying. I tried to be quiet. And Ryan, bless his heart, I couldn't be quiet. I was like, like I was having a panic attack. But he didn't leave me, so that was really good for him. But yeah, I don't know. Does music affect you that same kind of way at all? Do you have any music that...
It's so nerdy, but for me, it's the Metal Gear Solid soundtracks and like the best is yet to come. Stuff like Zanzibar Breeze. Those kinds of songs.
yeah.
They trigger.
Uh-huh.
They just trigger my brain really really hard. I don't know why, but those because you got the best is yet to come, which was by composed by Rika Moranaka. And I know who performed it. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but her first name is like Aoife. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Uh-huh.
But she sang it, and that song is always my I listen to that a lot.
How about
So,
you,
yeah,
Ryan? What's the song that gets to you?
Probably Eyes on Me
Yeah.
from Final Fantasy VIII.
Believe it or not, that gets Ryan every single time.
Oh, I have that with X2, 1,000 Words.
Eyes on Me, if we play that, he gets a little weepy on the sides of his eyes.
No, I could see that though. 8 for you was probably what 10-2 was for me.
But for Ryan, it was actually the romance between Laguna and...
Oh, you mean the interesting part of that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his... that was the romance he was talking about.
I can't imagine why that might resonate with him in any way. Stop looking at each other. I know you're looking.
Oh
at each other.
God, I was looking at him, trying to, but
I
yeah,
can hear it.
you can hear my stare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
But yeah,
just
no, it's because you got, like I said, 1,000 words from Metal Gear Solid, or not Metal Gear, from Final Fantasy X2. That song always, it just got to me. I
yeah.
don't know why though.
What is that song? It's,
Oh yeah, that one.
oh no! Final Fantasy X. It starts with a Z. Xanarkin.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Xanarkin
Oh.
theme.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, game music wise, there's so many parts that just hit hard. But I can see Metal Gear Solid being just vital to you. Do you have it actually on like a CD or?
I have it on Spotify, but I also own all of them. I own all of the Metal Gear Solid OSTs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can listen to them whenever I want. But yeah, I listen to them through Spotify or YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Not as old, but more recent for soundtracks though is the Persona 5 soundtrack. Obviously, I've been playing a lot of Persona 3 and comparing the soundtracks, but Persona 5 has some of the best video game music I think ever made.
I really, really enjoyed Persona 5. To the point where I was like, when Ryan was like, I was like, what? How can you not?
No, I legitimately there's a level of judginess that you will give someone who starts being not onto it, and it's not aggressiveness, but it is definitely like, whoa, hold on, how could you not?
Yeah, you're just like, do you just not get it?
Yeah, like you're missing something here.
But I really enjoyed it a lot. Oh, I'm so excited because Ryan and me linked Steam libraries finally.
Oh, boy.
And his friend had gifted him the first Like a Dragon game. And Brian had never played it. The one that got remastered, I think it's called Kiwami.
Yeah. Kiwami, the original. Yeah.
But I guess they retouched it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's free. So I was like, I'm going to check it out to see if
it's a good game.
Okay. I'm really excited about it because I didn't want to have to spend money. And so I was asking Ryan, are any of these on PS Now? Just because after I watched you stream it, I was like, this is pretty cool because it's got RPG elements.
Well,
but yeah.
Okay, you should know Yakuza Kiwami is nothing like a Dragon. It is a combo beat 'em up game.
They do say there's story to it though.
Oh yes, they're all story, but the actual gameplay is like square, triangle, square, circle.
That's
triangle,
fine.
circle.
Because
Okay.
what Ryan and me do is we just kind of huddle up together, and when it gets to the action part, he does that part, but I do all the story part.
Oh, so yeah, you're set.
So it works out.
I do not recommend playing it on anything other than fucking very easy though. Those games go from like, hey, this is fun to I kind of want to kill something.
No, I always do things easy because it's just kind of like I want to know the story.
Yeah.
Unless it's
those
like
games also though. Pieces of art. All of them.
I feel like I just got in a rut where I'm just doing the same type of games. Like I've been sticking with I love Stardew Valley because it's just epic, and a lot of farming games. Like I think we did, what's the other one we just did? Stonehaven, which is a good game too.
But they're all in the same genre.
Yeah, they're all kind of farming, cutesy kind of games. So I'm like, I need something with a little bit, huh?
What was it? Sorry, continue.
I think he wasn't listening to me.
I almost think he wasn't. I do agree with you though. I am also in that similar rut after platinuming my last few games. They've all been RPG or JRPG, and now I'm like, it's time for Stellar Blade. I need something that is just
yeah.
I need something wild.
I saw that. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is where the stronger she gets, the less clothing she has.
The less clothes she has, the harder the game gets.
So if you're on hard
Not just the
mode,
game.
yeah.
Huh, John?
It just, I honestly, I just want to fucking play it. It looks interesting to me. I want to see the combat. Everyone keeps saying the story is kind of meh, but I've played a lot of games where people say the story is meh, and it's some of my favorite games, so.
Well, it's got other bright
Assets.
Yes.
Assets.
Yeah, it's assets.
I still enjoy that everyone was complaining that it's like, she doesn't have a realistic body image. They literally took a Korean model and just took her figure and put her in the game. It's based on a person.
What do you mean they don't have? She doesn't have a realistic.
Her body shape. They just said it wasn't realistic. That's not how women look. Like, you can't obtain that body figure.
Well, I'm
Despite
sorry.
being
That's
based on
kind
an
of
actual
like.
person.
Yeah, but I mean, also you're gonna play a video game. They say that, but you know, if you're gonna play like Assassin's Creed or Halo, would they have applauded if Halo he's got like a big old gut, and, you know, short,
Yeah, the Doomslayer
stubby
wouldn't hit quite
legs?
as much if he was just had a shotgun fucking
Yeah.
shotgun and alcohol with a fucking beer belly and he just kept saying the N-word.
But I mean, the only reason why I'm complaining is because, like you said, it was based off of an actual Korean model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
People
there's
seem to forget very often that video games need to sell.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes
Uh-huh.
you need something to sell. And if your game isn't gonna fucking have the greatest story in the world, but you are gonna base it around a clothing difficulty system, you're probably gonna go all in on that clothing difficulty system.
Does she has, like, decent-sized tatas?
Oh, yeah, I would say so. I would say they're like anime above average.
Okay. Are you
That's like
sure?
the games I
Because,
was
like,
playing, right?
I mean, anime's got, like, some really ridiculously large...
I mean, I would just pull it up, just Google it. But I would say they're
yeah.
they're generally.
I see
above
the
average.
model. She's built very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see everyone's issue with it, but
I don't either. I'm just
everyone
looking...
just keeps like. I wasn't interested in it until everyone was like, "The combat's really fucking good. Like, why is this horny game actually good?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, hold on, we might be onto something here."
Wow.
Plus all the like
She
artwork stuff I
does-
see of like everything not related to the main character looks interesting. It looks very cyberpunky, which I like.
She does have some junk in the trunk.
Yeah, it all jiggles too, apparently.
Huh.
Yeah. I guess
I
we'll find out.
think-
I hope it's good.
It's important for the physics. We need
Is
to
it?
know for research. Just like the articles in Playboy.
Yeah, I gotta read everything.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let us know.
Yeah, well, we'll find out Friday, but I'm hoping it's a good game. I want something that's not like anything I've played recently, and this is pretty much as far as I can go.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But that'll be completely different from the JRPGs you've been playing for a little bit.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, you can only play 200-300-hour games. You can't do them back to back. It gets tiring.
Yeah, I was in a really long Stardew Valley kick. And then Diablo came out, and that just kind of helped reset everything. Before
Diablo
the
sent me back.
Before the grind. Like, I really did enjoy the story of it.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I did like that, but then the repetitive grind is what killed me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Hopefully this
so
new
different from what
update.
Blizzard usually does. Usually it's so fresh, different, and new.
Really, I feel like that's exactly what Blizzard does. They take a good concept and then ruin it with their future updates.
I was kind of just being sarcastic, but yeah.
Oh.
You know, like, instead
But
of...
to be fair, with Diablo 4, if we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt, everybody hated Diablo 3 when it released.
That is
They
true.
didn't like the talent system, they didn't like the loot, they didn't like the way it was, there was no runes like 2. And there's still people who hate it, but I still think Diablo 3 is an amazing game. I think it's like an 8 out of 10. It's great,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only gotten better with time. So
Yeah, which is usually what happens.
Diablo 4 will get better.
I
They
mean,
are reworking everything.
I complain about Dragonflight, but for the most part, compared to retail, I think it was different enough to be enjoyable for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Dragonflight definitely is
compared to classic.
classic.
Mm-hmm. A
We don't know
different,
that though.
a different type of experience, right? Like the purists who are like, I will only play classic. I'm like, but they've never tried retail.
Yep.
I feel like it's kind of like boomer
Well,
mentality.
to be fair, there's also this mentality of like, for me, why would I want to go and relive stuff I've already done?
Mm,
And that's the issue with classic for me is there's a lot of people who play it and are just reliving stuff they've already done. I'm like, well, why? You already know how to do it. Where's the challenge?
hmm
You know, like if I've already completed that raid successfully hundreds of times, why would I want to go back years later and redo something that I already have established that I can do? I just don't get that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is they've added the level scaling, so you can go pretty well anywhere in the game and redo all of it, and it
Yes.
mostly scales.
Yeah.
So the only thing that classic really does is goes back in time to when the talents were for that time zone.
And I would argue that if you were to, let's say, pick Cataclysm as your time walking, limit yourself, and actually try and do proper like rating in there, it'd be harder to do that now in retail than it would in the classic because the talent systems work differently now.
Yeah.
You created a new challenge, and I think it would be harder.
hmm
But that requires work. People don't want to do that. They want to limit them and give them no choice and have to play it the way that it was intended originally, which, I mean, I don't know why everybody wants to play classic Kata, because we all hated it, allegedly. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think you're nailing something though where people just don't want to, they just don't want to admit that the new stuff might be better.
hmm
I think there's a lot of that.
I mean, like when I went back to WoW in general, we started classic because it was just kind of like it was familiar to me,
Yeah.
and so I was trying to get back into the groove of things.
Yep.
And then whenever I switched to retail, I was like, oh, they just made it make a lot more sense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A lot
Like
of improvements.
the little things that pissed me off, like the inventory spaces being so limited. You know, like all the shitty little things that would drive you nuts. They just kind of
and things
and the
people,
money problem. Like it's so
Yeah.
easy to make money in retail where you're not.
It's the quality of life update.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the overall game, but it does affect your, moment to moment or possibly day to day life in the game that you're like, okay, this is way more appealing. I want to log in and do this.
What would you
the
say?
world
More,
events and quests that are changed daily, weekly.
you have something to do all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, which reminds me, did you guys pick up your new stuff from Stormwind?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I have not
so-
checked out any of that.
Sorry. If you want to check it out, that's something you
We'll
can
have to
do.
look at that. But yeah, I think there's just a limitation for some people. They just don't want to. They just don't want to. They don't want to move on. I think it's part of it. I think there's a strong amount of the player base that doesn't want to move on, or they're hate playing. Like I hate your new stuff. I'm only gonna play your old stuff. They don't care.
But
You're still paying
admittedly, for Ryan, I understand why he would like Classic. Because his rogue was still functional.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, now
I-
he's
like,
just adapted.
I mean, to be fair, I had a fucking rogue in my raid last night who was top of the DPS for the entire thing.
Really?
I don't know how or why. He was
What's-
outlaw, but I don't like to be the top though. He had to been outside of looking for raid gear.
Yeah.
So I think the rogue has a scaling issue because I think it's the same issue with the feral druid. I think that there's just anything looking for possibly normal and under, they don't scale appropriately. So you need to get them to high end normal into heroic, and I think they start coming out. Not that that's a justifiable thing. They shouldn't be like that at all. But that's my guess. Because the only time I ever see rogues or feral druids do well is when they're way outside of what they should be running.
Well, I don't know how it's going to be. Like, Ryan was trying to explain something with the whole warband thing, and I still don't understand exactly what that is. Other than you can share your loot across your characters, is that correct?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
You will have the option to have basically a primary main, and then assign four characters to that warband. And everybody connected to that warband will be able to reap the reward of your main.
Okay.
So it's a way to utilize 4 other characters without necessarily having to play them.
Oh, like in Final Fantasy when they changed where you didn't have to level up every single character. They just got the XP of...
Yeah, so imagine it kind of like in Final Fantasy 14 where you have one character but all of your jobs are on that one character. It's similar to that, but you still get the uniqueness of all the characters.
Okay.
But they all get XP, and I think you can still give loot to them and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
You might take care of...
You basically have a group.
Yeah. That'll help with the road.
And I almost wonder if down the line it's the pre-setup for not necessarily player housing, but when you have your own warband camp that you can... Not like how they did with Warlords of Draenor and stuff, where it's a junk castle that you can no longer use, because they're going to make it like an account-wide type thing.
I like where your mind's at, but if you were going to give Blizzard that level of credit, you know what I mean? There's no way.
Well, I'm not saying this expansion pack, but like 8 or 9 down the line.
8 or 9, yeah.
9 years.
The final expansion, they'll give us the war.
Yeah.
And fucking, yeah. Yeah.
And then the end of the game will be like a meteor destroys your warband.
That's actually how they ended Final Fantasy XIV, the original version, before they remarketed as a Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
They had Bahamut appear, and it was the end of days, and destroyed the servers and everything. And then when they rebooted as a Realm Reborn, everything was like, they used that as a canon event.
Yeah.
But they did that really well, because I remember how people hated on FF14, and then when Realm Reborn came online, they were just like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I still think it's the best MMO out at the moment. I still think it's number 1.
So good on them for, I don't know, listening to everybody's criticisms and trying to...
Good on them for doing the one thing Square Enix always does, which is not listen. And instead, they gave it to somebody who did want to listen, Yoshi P. And he dug their asses out of it, and is probably one of the only reasons Square Enix can keep making stupid decisions and not go bankrupt.
That's so funny how games will do that, because that's what happened with Bethesda and Fallout, right? Everybody loves Fallout New Vegas, but it's not created by...
Made by Obsidian Entertainment.
Yep. And they were so put off by it. Apparently they said, no, we're not going to outsource it anymore. We're going to do the next Fallout 4, and then completely not compare to what Obsidian did. So, I don't know.
And obviously Fallout 4 was not wildly loved.
No.
It's not, more people still talk about Vegas than anything else.
It's just they're so old now. Ryan tried to play it, and he's like, oh god, there's so many bugs. And
Fallout 3.
Ryan tried to play Fallout 3.
Oh god, yeah, I hate Fallout 3.
Yeah, and it
Fallout 3 was my first introduction to that series. And it made me not want to play any of Bethesda's games ever.
Yeah.
One of the worst games I've ever played.
Which is kind of sad because I actually enjoyed Bethesda, like before.
Morrowind, the original, was.
I mean, there are more games that are a bit better now, but back then that was like groundbreaking. But yeah, if you go back and you play it, Ryan still goes back to Asheron's Call. Have you ever played that? Such an old MMO, but every now and then.
It was the third MMO ever out. Way back.
Yeah.
No, I never played it.
It is. It's pretty rough. I mean,
Came out 1999.
Yeah.
I was like 8. Definitely did not play that. Holy crap! That's
Yeah. Right.
come a long way.
And I thought EverQuest was bad, like graphical.
I actually legit I know that I'm like, wow, this looks rough, but I love these types of games. There's something about this level of classic, like MMO. I love it so much. It's before MMOs kind of became this like what they are now. These massive beasts of running raids and groups and stuff. Like this is an MMO. Asheron's Call. Like classic WoW, not classic, vanilla WoW. That's an MMO. Like what we have now it's a game. I don't know quite how to explain it, but it's just different.
No, I get that. Did it have music on Asheron's Call that stuck out to you too, or?
There was some, yeah.
You were just asking in general if it had call music. Like, is it that old?
Yeah, I was about to say it, and then I'm like, well, they probably did have music.
They had one.
They had one guy on there going bum 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 bum, cha cha cha, pew pew pew. Wait, there weren't guns in there. It would be more like clink clink clink.
There was magic casters, so there might be a little bit of pew pew.
Yeah, okay.
Or like fireball,
But yeah. Okay, how about okay, John, what would you have on your playlist? 5 songs. If you could explain to everybody what your musical taste is like.
Oh no.
Yeah.
5 songs that has to describe my entire playlist? Or my entire musical? Oh,
I mean,
no. Good luck. There's no way. My music taste varies immensely.
Oh, well, so does mine too. So, what's this, like, one song? And we'll all go around and name a song.
You don't understand, okay? You can go from, like, fucking, like, Eminem, right? We do Eminem's most recent album, like, Kill Shot. People know that song. Super popular. But then I've got fucking, Horsecock. There's no cock like horsecock and send your asshole into shock. Shit like that. Okay? Those are 2 different
That
spectrums.
defines you?
I'm just saying, that's my musical taste. It varies that far. It's just like songs that could be serious and good and lyrically impressive, and then songs that make me laugh my ass off. Like fucking anything by Tom Cardy. It's just it's that large of a gap.
Okay, now you need 3 more.
I like how John says, I can't do it, and then he starts naming them.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm
That's
just
what I said,
saying,
now he needs 3 more.
I was thinking of the 2 largest gaps I have in my playlist, right? Like, those 2 probably wouldn't be anywhere near each other. I don't know, though. What else fucking would there be? I have too many. So I have, like, 12 playlists. And they all vary. I've got, like...
See, I know you had, like, a variant. Like, okay, let's just try and, like, play off of each other. You said Eminem... Kill Shot. Yeah. I'll say Snoop Dogg, Drop It Like It's Hot. How about you, Ryan? He's looking at me with like...
You limited it to 5. That's my problem. Like, I can't limit it. I have 151 songs on one playlist.
Schism by Tool.
Okay. Now your turn, John.
Hold on. Let me go to my top songs of 2023, right? That should be a good... My number 1 song was Bars No Jutsu. So
Okay.
that would be there. You're not gonna know the shit I'm listening to.
Okay. Santeria by Sublime. I know. Everybody knows it, but it just has a significant meaning to me.
I just realized that this entire list that we're about to name off is gonna date all of us, because everything I'm listening to is stuff that I have predominantly found in the last like 12 years, and your guys is like
Don't make us-
90s to like 2000s.
How about you, Ryan?
Coming Undone by Korn.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Now
I
you,
was
John.
right. Stay in Bed and Fuck by Jonathan Roy. While the World Burns. Sorry, Stay in Bed and Fuck While the World Burns.
Ren. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a great fucking song.
And his song Hi Ren, where he
Yeah.
just
Yep.
goes crazy. So yeah. How about you, Ryan? He's like, oh shit.
I can't remember any others.
You're looking at a song right now. You can say that one.
Well, that kind of goes back to the emotional
Yeah, but it's still
connections
a
to the
song.
music.
Yeah.
Would be the original soundtrack of Xenogears.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. That's a classic.
Because there are some on there that kind of gets me teary-eyed too, because of the remembering the story components that happened for that music.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just enjoy listening to it.
Okay. How about you, John?
I don't want to say my last one. I'm gonna have to. Hot demon bitches near you.
And who was that by?
Corpse.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm telling you, my music is. I've also got Falling by like Wide Mike. I've got Rap Music by Lil Darky. But then I've got like Kickback by Kenji Yonizu, which is the fucking theme song to Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
That's my sixth
That's
most
good.
listened to song in 2023.
That's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's so
one by Metallica. That's one of the ones that I really like. Because it's tied to WoW. It just...
Yeah,
And
I
Fade to
don't-
Black.
Metallica for me is I can't listen to Metallica. I don't like Metallica at all because it was like forced upon me as a kid, and now when I hear it, I just get annoyed.
But you see, that's how much of an effect it can have, depending on who forced it on you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my for WoW though, like WoW music that isn't related to WoW music is The Chosen Ones by Dream Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Their Dragon Slayer album. That song for me, every time I listen to it, I just think about killing the Lich King.
Yeah. Kind of like how everybody liked Eye of the Tiger.
Love Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, for
Fucking
whenever
Rocky
we
and all
played.
that? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep. Eye of the Tiger, it's a banger, bro. It gets you in the mood.
Hey, you didn't say that song that you like, Highway to the Danger Zone.
Danger Zone?
Danger Zone, yeah.
You didn't say that song where he says go to the danger zone? Oh, you mean Danger Zone?
Yeah, I
See, the
know.
thing is, like,
When I got to
Danger-
the end, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's songs like that, though, get, like, retired because, like, certain songs... I'm sure you're like this, too. Certain music gets correlated to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of those songs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like anything by Nickelback, Danger Zone. What's that other song? It's fuck. They sing it a lot on Supernatural.
Oh, Wayward Son.
Yeah, that song. I can't listen to that song. That song. I hate my dad. Okay, do not get me wrong here. Me and my dad had a horrible relationship. I listen to that fucking song and I get teary eyed and it pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
That song I can't do.
My version of that song would be that my dad used to hum Que Sera Sera, whatever will be, will be. He used to whistle it. So every single time I hear it, it just right in the gut. My dad was great. He was amazing.
Your dad, 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing man.
But yeah. But it's amazing how music can have just a different kind of thing.
Tons.
Yeah.
I'm looking through this list, and my music is wild, dude. I've got like, do you know the song "When You're Evil"?
Mm-hmm.
That's like my 10th most listened to song. I love that song.
I showed a song to Ryan. I think he liked it too. It was just Korn when they were just singing a whole bunch of Ring Around of Rosies. What was it?
Oh, yeah.
Just a whole bunch of kids, old kids. What do you call those, Ryan? Nursery rhymes.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Korn was pretty big.
Got nursery rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my music tastes are weird.
Do you listen to any country?
I do. Hold on, let me find it. It's somewhere in here. Rum by Brother Osborne, as well as It Ain't My Fault by Brothers Osborne. I like those two songs.
Mm-hmm.
Something about the song Rum just puts me in like a very... It
Garth
just brings me
Brooks,
back to like...
Friends in Low Places.
Yes, I was just listening to that song like the other day. That's my all-time favorite country song of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't know why.
It just hits the right kind of thing when
It
you
puts
have...
you in a mood.
Yeah, a mood. I was about to say, you have to be in the mood with the song, but it's perfect. He sings another one called The Thunder Rolls. Pretty
Oh, I
good
love that
too.
song.
Yeah, really good
There's
too.
I don't remember the name of it, but there's a cover band that sings that song, and it's not like better, but it's just amazing because it's a really good cover with their own charm to it.
Mm-hmm. Poor Virgo. He's just like, oh. Green Day. You listen to Green Day. What was that one song that you always talk about? The walking one. I walk alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I walk this lonely
Boulevard of
road.
Broken Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one.
Ryan's music is very depressing. Actually, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
because he likes the other one, the sad one about dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Mad World?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that song?
What's it called?
A Mad World. The lyrics.
Who's it by?
Gary Jules.
Gary Jules.
Oh my God! There's one part he's like the dreams. Read that part, Ryan.
All around me are familiar faces.
Oh,
Worn
yeah,
out
this
places,
song.
worn out faces.
Yeah.
But the lyric part about the dreams where I'm dying are the best I've.
Yeah.
Are
The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm just like, jeez. Do
See,
you
I
think there are
can't-
people
I
who
can-
like to be in that sad kind of mood? Cause
My inner music is depressing.
No, I'm look. I'm taking both your sides here because I listen to this song a lot too, because once you get into a funk, you listen to songs like this and it's just like you just start going into that spiral.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have a song, what's it fucking called? Agoraphobic. And like that's sort of similar to like this song.
Oh my gosh. But then he likes that one song that's really strange about fireflies. I think it's called Fireflies, right? By Owl City?
That's Ryan's favorite song of all time.
By Owl
I
City?
don't care what he says. Yeah, by Owl City.
Oh my god. Oh. But
That's one of my happy songs.
But I want to know if Ryan will admit it. What is the song that you said reminded you of us?
No.
When we yes, please, please, please.
That's for you and you alone.
Ryan, but it's for the podcast.
Yeah, that's not gonna
He's like,
happen.
yeah, fuck the podcast.
It's so sweet, though. Say it
You guys
real
heard
quick.
the song "Shit" by Bo Burnham?
No.
That is my song that just makes me feel even shittier about myself.
Oh, I'm not gonna look it up because if it hits the right notes, I'm gonna have to add it
it's
to.
comedy. It's comedy.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh God, what is it? It's like, Wake up at 11:30, feeling like a bag of shit. All my clothes are dirty. I'm smelling like a bag of shit. Go to my coffee, miss my cup. That's just my luck. Look in the mirror and say, What up, you useless fuck?" And it's like, are you feeling what I'm feeling? I haven't had a shower in the last 9 days. Staring at the ceiling, waiting for this feeling to go away, but it won't go away. Like shit like that.
Merry Motherfucking Christmas. Love that song.
Oh, dude, that song was a banger.
Oh, I
Oh
just
my
played
God,
that
I was
out.
hooked, dude. Sam actually sent me, what is it here? There's a YouTube channel where they take old music, like 60s, 70s-ish era, and they kind of like revamp it into their own. And the song he sent me is called "You Look Like You Could Use a Fucking Lamp." And I legitimately cannot explain it, but it is one of the best things I've ever heard.
You'll have to link me so I can check it out. A lot of people are doing that because they're saying like a lot of the music from 1910s and 1920s, they've never been recorded. They're just getting kind of erased. But a lot of like the younger kids are finding it and taking the sheet music and kind of revamping it so it can get recorded onto CDs and stuff and it won't disappear. It's pretty cool. I mean, some of the music's kind of weird. I played one for Ryan and it was really odd because it had something to do with smelling undies.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. There were horn dogs from the very beginning, right?
I mean, you're here because Grandpa got lucky.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you see some of those photos of like, how crazy they were, and they're like, man, they're boomers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I know. What the fuck happened?
I think it skips it skips a generation or two every time, right? Like you'll have a few generations of people like who will be super chill and grow up and be super chill and still have that very lax thing. But because of that, their children lacked structure, and those children grow up to be very rigid and like they need that structure because they didn't have it as kids, and then they force that structure upon their kids, and then those kids don't like structure, and then the process repeats almost.
I can totally see that because I was structured, but now I'm just chaotic.
Yeah.
And my mom.
What's even worse too is your parents like mine, who were neither.
Yeah.
Absent.
Yeah, that's right. And you have to figure everything out yourself.
Yeah.
I felt so bad today because we were late picking up our daughter because I forgot it was early out, so we were like 20 minutes late picking her up. So the office called us and like, she's here in the office. And I felt so bad. But then I remember whenever I was growing up and then like when they just forgot to pick me up from school and I would be there for hours. And so I think that's why it hit me so hard because I didn't want her to feel like she was like forgotten. But she was totally fine.
Yeah.
She was okay.
There's a difference though, right? Like she knows at home, like she's not forgotten. It's
Yeah.
Just, yeah, it's totally like I remember we used to take the bus home from school. I'd get home, all of the doors would be locked. Like, okay.
Oh
Well,
my god, yes! What the fuck is up with that? And you had to like be like your own burglar and find a window and climb that shit.
Well, that's the thing.
how to
Is our
pick the
house
lock.
was on a fucking hill, so you couldn't 10-year-old me wasn't reaching the window.
Oh my god.
Or because my dad is my dad, all the windows were like super glued, welded shut with like bars across them, so you weren't breaking in.
Oh, so did you just have to wait outside?
Yeah, I would just sleep with the Huskies. Because the Huskies were like, "Fuck yeah, it's John." So they were great because they listened to me. But yeah, I would just sit outside with the Huskies for like 4 hours.
So what happened if you had to like go to the bathroom or whatever?
Me and the Huskies just took a piss together.
Oh my god.
I grew up more of a dog than I was a person.
That's rough though because wait. Not pun intended.
Uh-oh.
I was like, that's rough.
That's rough.
God damn it.
I'm not trying to laugh at your trauma, but
Yeah,
come
yeah, no,
on
you
now.
should
That
laugh
was
at the trauma.
that
Like,
was
it's
that was
yeah, no, we used to, yeah, I just would just go down with because the Huskies had these giant like igloos, and I would just like sit in the igloos with the Huskies and shit, and just like nap and chill because I couldn't do anything else. and like nobody was gonna, nobody was gonna try to abduct me with like 30 huskies. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we had 2 huskies. I had my husky Kodiak, who I would just leave off the chain because he wasn't going anywhere. He listened to me perfectly, so he would just walk around with me and just make sure I didn't go anywhere stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had his mom, who would also listen to me, and she could go off the chain. And they were both just they were basically guard dogs. And if anything really happened, we would go to Big Kodiak, who was a Iditarod winning Alaskan husky who took no shit, was very protective. So it was like, good luck.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
How many did you have in total? Like
huskies or just animals?
Just
huskies. We had like 25 or so huskies at one point.
And was that for just like breeding and then selling?
We had like 20 that were ours. And then we'd have litters at a time, and so sometimes it'd be litters of like 6 to 12.
Oh my god!
So
How did you
over 30
feed
at
them?
times? But like those 60-pound bags of food. Yeah, like 4 of those every like week and a half.
My god!
Mixed with like, whatever else stuff we had, like chicken and like chicken breasts and stuff like left over. Because my mom wouldn't do leftovers. She was like, nope, you didn't eat it, goes to the huskies. So we never had leftovers.
My god. That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah, it was a lot of dog food.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what is up with that, because like the thing with the animals, and I'm gonna get on this spiel, why is it they're so concerned about animals but it's their own freaking kids, right? Like, when my mom lost her poodle because somebody had hit it, she was like torn up and like crying and everything like that. But I had never seen her show that same kind of empathy towards me growing up. But she was just so kind to animals, and I never understood that. Never.
I'm right there with you, dude. This made me think it was, I remember one day my dad came home and just punched me across the face, and I was just like, my whole face was bruised. I didn't go to school for like a week, right? And we had an Alaskan Malamute who was just a dick, and I remember like whacking him on the nose because he was being bad, and I remember my mom coming out and just slamming me into the ground and yelling at me for like 20 minutes not to hit the dogs.
But
and then I yelled at her back saying, well, he just, like, Dad punched me. And she just went, you need to learn to not hit those dogs and not learn something. I don't even remember what she said. She just yelled at me not to hit the dogs. And nothing else really was a problem. Like, I deserved a whack or whatever. I was just like, what the fuck?
You were just happening? Copying what...
I wasn't even copying. The dog was actually, like, doing something he shouldn't have been doing, like digging holes or something. He was trying to, like, something that wasn't right. And they're fucking like 250-pound dogs. I bopped him on the snout. He did not give a shit. He was just like, okay, I'll stop doing that. Whatever, my bad.
If he really wanted to, he could fuck you up.
Basically. He would have knocked me the fuck over and ripped me in half and eaten me. Yeah, he could have easily. I'm pretty sure at that point my head would have fit in his jaw. No problem. But the fact that I got yelled at for telling the dog to basically stop like chewing up something or whatever, yeah, it was wild.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
I was just like all bruised and stuff.
I don't get it. I just don't understand the empathy. That's why when everybody's like, if somebody's cruel to animals, I know they're not a good person. That's true. But then when they're like, if a person is nice to animals, that means they're a good person. And I'm just like, no, not necessarily. And I know for a fact, so.
I mean, I think a lot of people would assume, like, I don't enjoy having pets. Like, I don't like having dogs. I don't like having cats. I can deal with, like, low maintenance animals, like tortoises and stuff. And people I know for a fact have been like, I don't know, man, that's kind of weird that you don't like having dogs. I'm like, nah, see, the thing is you don't understand the context. Like, there's a lot of hidden stuff. Like, some people just have a fear, some people just don't like dogs, whatever. But, like, there's a lot of information that you're missing. You just be judging someone and like, oh, you just don't like dogs? You must be something wrong with you.
You just had to basically take care of them. That was like your work.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. But I mean, it's like me being from an Asian background, parents owning a restaurant. I was that kid
Yeah.
where they joke about, if I don't see a kid being forced to work the register, I don't want any of that. Whenever they talk about restaurants that are good, because you always see it, there's some poor son or daughter that's having to check you out in the register while you're getting food because of free labor.
We have a steak place in town that just got owned by like this Mexican family, and they got blasted on like the public Facebook because they had their like 15-year-old daughter like working the front house.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's just like that's what you expect that, you know?
That's how it is. And I don't mind that if I was paid.
Yeah.
Like, give me something for it, but don't wake me up at like 5, make me work at 5 a.m. in the morning until 5 p.m. at night.
Also, if they were like more respectful about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would play into it.
But yeah, I don't know. I digress. We were supposed to be talking about music, but apparently music and emotions get...
Yeah, well, that was the whole point, right? Like music, how does music relate to you and how does it affect you and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to take it to an upbeat thing, and then I think when we talked about Ryan's taste in music, it went downhill.
Ryan's taste in music is definitely very different from... To be fair, though, like, I purposely try to avoid music now that will, like, I know will trigger me and put me in certain mindsets. So I most of my music isn't something that'll do that, and because I've gone out of my way to delete or block everything that will, like, cause me to be, like, depressed. Like, I
mean, music is that powerful.
Yeah.
Do you get affected by it, Ryan?
Yeah.
So you like the sad music, even though you know it'll make you sad?
I think the inner song of my soul is depressed. So it doesn't matter what I listen to. I will always end up going towards those songs that are more, I guess, sad or depressive.
And I honestly think it boils down to, for me, like when I see Ryan, it's because he was born in the wrong timeline. Or the wrong world. Whenever they're making you try and function in a place that your soul does not fit. Like, you should be out in the battlegrounds doing something, or, I don't know, exploring some strange planet somewhere, but instead, they're making you have to do this bullshit, like, hamster in a wheel kind of thing every day. Day in, day out, because that's how everything works. I mean, do you ever feel like that, John, where you're like, this world is not where I'm supposed to be?
I definitely have issues living in the way the current society wants you to, for sure. Yeah, it's hard when you don't necessarily want to fit the mold, right, that you're supposed to in current society. You want to do things differently, like I like off-grid living, right, stuff like that, or what do you call it? You live in like a van. What's that fucking called?
Yeah, no, I understand.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like, I love the idea of nomadic living and doing stuff like that, but you can't really in this society with like how money works and stuff like that. Or you can, but it's really hard.
I would love to be a digital nomad where you could just take your work with you and all that kind of stuff. Like, you see the guy in the van and he's rigged up his computer so he can game, but outside it's like he's in the middle of this beautiful forest. So just at nighttime, whenever he has to be in, because like wild animals and shit like that.
That's why I appreciate the YouTubers who are like off-grid living and stuff like that. Like they found a way to do what they want, but also make an income through the YouTube, because people love watching that stuff. Like, I'm watching it because I'm living vicariously through them.
Exactly. I am the same freaking way.
I don't have though. I don't know where to start to do that, but also I think at a certain point some people get locked into their life and it's really hard to swap it out to do something like that would like truly make them happy, because it might make like no one else in your life happy. Like Leanne would probably be miserable off the grid living, because I know that she thinks I would be. She's like, oh, but you like gaming and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I like going outside and fixing shit and building shit and gardening and all that way more than I do gaming. But you know, it's
because
just
you
not something
can't do that is why you end up gaming.
Yes, yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Like I can't.
That's how I
can't-
am. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't. Because I live in Washington, I can't go outside all the time. Fucking downpour raining. I'm gonna get fucking colds and shit. You're gonna create mud swamps trying to. You can't bury flowers in mud. You're just gonna end up fucking dousing things and then trying to cut wood in the rain. It's just like now you've got wood. So
Leanne might like that.
No. Because it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you can do these things, but, you know, you're missing all the other aspects of it, of the off-the-grid stuff.
It's got to be the whole thing.
Yeah, it's got to be the whole thing. Because it's hard when you're still in society, but you want to do off-grid style stuff, but you're still there, and you're going to slip into the normal stuff.
Well, that's why I think we do our bees, because it's kind of like slowly trying to figure a way to do some of that off-grid self-sustainability kind of a thing.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's why I take my backyard stuff so seriously. Like the mowing, the gardening, all that stuff. It's a secluded zone. It's my off-grid territory.
That's what I
That's probably
told
why I
Ryan.
also hate the front yard stuff.
You in your yard and having to have grass is tied to you being a kid that never had a yard. I'm like, the yard is...
Well, it's actually the opposite. We had a huge yard growing up, but we lost our house, so I lost it. You know what I mean? So I really cherish having that now, because we spent, like, you know, ever since the age of like 14 until 2 years ago, I didn't have a yard, and I loved it. So
It's so weird that right now you feel like it could all go away because of growing up never having a stable home.
yeah,
Like we were
oh yeah,
constantly
it's a
moving
high level of
from
anxiety.
being evicted and stuff like that, and being a kid you never understood why you had to leave again, you know? But, well, for me, that was my thing. I don't know if you dealt with a whole bunch of...
Oh, no, I 100% knew why we were leaving. Yeah, no, I understood everything very clearly. I got to watch both of my parents be complete failures because neither one of them wanted to give up what they were doing.
It's crazy. So now we're trying to function. I mean, your kids sound like they're doing great, so I'm happy to hear.
I know, right?
Yeah.
One of them's just got on the honor roll. Shyla's been in track. She got first for her, 400? Then she got first in the relay. And then she had her second track meet yesterday, and she got second in her 400. But she only lost to the same girl that she beat last time, so, like... if you're winning and beating and losing against like the same person, I don't think it's that bad.
No, because it's just that's that camaraderie that's good.
Yeah,
they're gonna just push each other further.
Close.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I think that's impressive, and she was really happy with it. And all the other stuff that she was doing there, not just track, but she was doing like the javelin throws, the shot put, the discs. All of those she improved greatly from the last one. So I'm like, at least you're showing growth. You know, she's like, I just wanted first. I was like, well, you can't always get first.
Yeah,
but you know, if you want first, you got to try harder. And that doesn't mean just like, you know, wanting it harder. You actually have to do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's doing better. She's, you know, she's hopefully focusing in on something that will get her into a group of peers that share interests with her. That's what she needs.
Keep with the ADHD people. Come on.
It's like trying to surf with a piece of cardboard.
So tell us, Ryan, what are some of your songs then?
I do.
Or art?
Okay, do you guys both have a Spotify?
I do.
Okay.
No, Ryan's phone is not capable of Spotify. It can't even take photo. Well, it can take photos.
It could take photos, but it's only like 96 pixels by 96 pixels.
Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be on the phone. Okay, wow, that is a difference, huh? You Spotify phone. I hate Spotify on the phone. I never use Spotify on the phone.
Oh yeah, I have Spotify on my phone.
I can't stand Spotify on the phone. I only use it on my computer because I can ad block.
Oh, I don't have. Oh, I have premium.
Oh, yeah, I refuse to pay for premium, so I load it up through the browser, and my ad block stops all their ads.
That's good.
And I get infinite skips.
I only do it because whenever we do like long driving or whatever, I just download it.
Download ad block on your phone, and then you can go onto their website on the phone.
What? That sounds like.
And then you don't have
Yar.
to pay for premium.
That sounds nothing like you.
I like not spending money, okay? Especially on all this. Like, the whole point of streaming was to.
Spotify. You were like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, you're like. Do you have the thing where it says, like, your top songs of 2023? Did you do that?
I'm not really a big music listener.
You?
Because I like to listen to music when I haven't heard sound in a while. But my days are usually so noisy that music just turns into more noise. So when I have times of silence, I just enjoy the silence. Because with the kids and work and everything else, my day is flooded with noise.
Yeah.
But not for me because I don't really talk that much.
No. When we're doing our things, we don't have that much. But when I go to work early in the morning, I go to bed usually right when the kids go to bed too. Mm-hmm. So I don't get moments of silence. So I don't listen to music either.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I leave them alone because most of the time I have my headset on and I have like an Audible book going on.
Oh yeah, Leanne wanted me to ask you if you'd listened to any of those books that she had recommended.
I listened to a little bit of the first one, but then I ran out of time, which I don't understand why. Because on Spotify now they have audiobooks, but apparently you can only listen for so many hours before you have to wait until it renews again, which I think is so stupid.
Is that even with premium?
Yeah, it's even with premium. So I'm like, this is lame.
Yeah, since you spam listen to it.
Huh.
God dang it. John's like, I'll tell you how to listen to everything for free. But no, Cressley Cole, I believe is the name. I have it on my favorite, so I'm going to pick up on it. I just got confused because it started with What?
Just give me a book title, like that you listen to, just real quick.
Fourth Wing.
Not found, man. I'll have to see if I can find a better website. Anyways.
A legitimate legal website, of course.
Who said that?
Wink.
Not me.
Yeah, wink, wink.
So you finished up a book series, and she was like, "Shit, they're all like, she's out. So you gotta find something else."
Mm-hmm. I sent her. I don't know if she'll listen to it, but I sent her something on Discord that was a tutorial on the differences between using black caulk and white caulk for your door or seams on your windows.
Oh my god.
And it just made me think of her. Sorry, caulk.
Yeah, no, you said what you said.
I meant caulk. Black caulk and white caulk.
Yeah, sure you did.
Uh-huh. They said for the front entrance, black caulk. But for the back entrance, probably white caulk.
Yeah? Why is that?
I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah. Huh. That's weird.
But I sent her a video. It's funny. Anyways, what were you talking about?
We were supposed to be talking about music, but I guess audiobooks is a form of sound.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty bees. Oh! Yes, Ryan was... There's something called audio processing disorder, because sometimes what Ryan tells me is I'll be like really into the lyrics, right? Because they mean a lot when you listen to the music. But sometimes Ryan says he doesn't hear the voices. It just sounds like another instrument.
Yeah, when somebody plays a musical instrument to the same notes that would be sung at, I hear the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to it one time, and I didn't know that they were actually singing words because I had heard the original done only with instruments. So all I heard was the instrument. I didn't know they were actually words. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what do you think of the lyrics? I'm like, what lyrics? I didn't know there were words in it because I just heard the notes.
Without lyrics? Like
yes.
Just, yeah.
So that's why I think the video game soundtracks are very nice for me. I also like classical as just a general listening because there's no words.
How about you, though? Are you a lyrical person? Or
I'm very much a lyrical person.
I think it's funny again because Leanne is in Ryan's boat and I'm in your boat with lyrics versus no lyrics.
Oh,
Leanne's
she
all
does.
about that bass. Loves the bass.
What kind of music does she listen to?
Dude, Leanne's music makes me not want to listen to music. Honestly,
is it like?
It's just weird shit.
Is it EDM?
Yeah, she likes that a lot. She listens to a bunch of weird shit. Let me find God damn it, hold on, I had it on here. So like, there's that that song I said, "Stay in bed and fuck." She sent me that song, and that's really good. But then she sends me weird shit like "Hentai Bitch." So, if that gives you an idea of any of the randomness that she sends. But yeah, she sends a bunch of weird music. I couldn't even honestly pinpoint what exactly she listens to. But it's just a bunch of weird stuff that it's just very bass heavy music.
Granted, I do listen to a lot of like trance, like Goa trance and stuff that a lot of people just think it's the same note over and over again. But I think I only listen to it because I don't have to think. It's like when the defrag used to be the little squares that used to line up, and they took that away from us. Do you remember that when you defrag your computer and if you like this? I loved it. Yes, I loved it. But yeah, I like that type of music too.
Here, like she sent me like a song by Louis Capaldi, but it was like a remix version. She does a lot of that. She likes listening to a song, but if it's remixed to be less vocal. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of what she does. So anything that has less words that she can find a version of.
I think that for you and me, and maybe it's a Leo Sagittarius thing, we actually bonded through music. Like, even though we played WoW, we would always
you kind of kick-started my interest in music because I wasn't allowed to listen to music unless it was like what my parents were listening to. Mm-hmm. And you helped me find a lot of like music and stuff. Like you introduced me to Red Hot Chili Peppers, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I don't even remember who else. Snow Patrol, that was a big one. I remember that. But yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah,
I had zero. Even Mike helped a lot too. Mm-hmm. With my musical taste because he was in a band at some point, so he had a bunch of like musical, things that were like way different than what you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And that was always cool. And then, of course, like Sam, obviously Sam has, because like my musical taste didn't really bloom until, like, it didn't really start blowing up for me because I still was kind of like passive on music until Sam. And then Sam has just been like an absolute treat for musical fucking interest.
Oh, that's great though.
Yeah, because he has showed me some of the weirdest shit and some of the best shit I've ever heard, which I can't complain about. But then, because of Sam, I've also found shit like the fucking Horsecock song, and then I showed it to Sam. I was like, dude, this shit's hilarious. And he's like, I did not show you that. He's like, I don't know who taught you that, but that's fucked up.
How does one stumble across a song called
Tom Cardy's Have You Checked Your Butthole? And then I just followed that rabbit hole on YouTube.
Are you sure you guys weren't looking up Horsecocks?
Honestly, we might have been looking up something. I don't know. We've looked up some weird shit waiting for Destiny raids to get ready, you know? Like,
When was that? Oh, you and Ryan had that what in the butt.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, some of the best moments you can have with your friends is trying to just wait to get a fucking group together for shit.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
yeah.
random shit's gonna be said and random shit's gonna be happening because you're not focused yet.
You make fun of each other, then you one up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh god, what I'm gonna have to find that song again.
Yeah. What?
The Eddie Murphy one, right?
I don't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, it was fucking alligator in your butt. I remember showing that song to Leanne, and Leanne just being like, "What the fuck? Like, this song's hilarious, right?" And she's like, "No, that shit's weird as shit." I was like, "Nah, it's hilarious. You just don't understand."
Yeah, that's us. We're weird
Oh,
as
I love
shit.
that song so much. I have it on my playlist somewhere. Or no, I had it on my old one. My old Spotify got hacked. Who hacks the Spotify, by the way?
Somebody who wants to know what good music is all about.
Well, they got Eddie Murphy. What in the butt?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Or Boogie in your butt. That's what it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the one song that's called "Show Me Your Genitals."
Yeah. Oh, me and Sam have been fucking referencing that song a lot lately.
I just love that part where he's like, "I can't put my penis in your college degree."
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Show me your genitals.
Yeah.
I feel like that's old school, like, WoW stuff, too.
Mm-hmm. And he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, songs like these, stuff like that, you're not gonna get if you're just being, normal. you gotta go fucking out there to get shit like that.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
God,
See-
I've not thought about that song.
So make sure you find that what in the butt.
Oh, I already have it pulled up.
Oh. But yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take long. You got the whole put a tin can in your butt, put a little tiny man in your butt, put a light in your butt, say make it bright in your butt, put a TV in your butt, say put me in your butt. Everybody say.
What?
Oh, it's so good.
I don't know how we found that, but I think it had something to do with Ryan because Ryan stumbled across it.
Leave it to Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. Anything else? We didn't talk about art, but
Not really.
I think
Well, I'm
Right.
sure John will go back to the Stellar Blade for the art part.
I was gonna talk about Leanne's paint pouring, but we could talk about how artistically they crafted that Korean model into the game.
So what about the paint pouring?
I wasn't sure if you guys have ever done paint pouring in any form.
No.
No, you guys are missing out. I think
We've kind of seen it, but not really.
we saw it
Looked
with
into it.
done with spray paint. We saw
oh
somebody-
yes, there's a guy on
Yeah.
YouTube who does that.
Yeah, a similar kind of thing, but he uses spray paint to do the dipping or whatever. I guess
Yeah.
it works the same kind of way, right?
Um,
He used it to, well, the one I was watching, he used it to cover like hubcaps and different kind of stuff, like all kinds of different things.
I'm not sure. Okay, so the guy I've seen, he does like Planet.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I used to have paintings. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Of the guy who did planets and stuff like that. He was like a street painter.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube who does paintings. I watch a lot of his shorts, and I started practicing with it, and it's not very hard to do. It's really fun, and you can do a lot of, like, once you get the hang of it, you can really do pretty much anything you want. So it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. But me and Leanne predominantly do paint pouring, which is like you get a canvas, and you basically just like create layers of paint and then apply them.
I've seen your guys' paintings and they were really good. There was one that I really enjoyed. I really liked it. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I like that one. And I think Leanne was like, oh, John did that one. Where or something like that.
I mean, to be fair, if there was somebody who was going to probably like what I did, it would be you, right? Like, our tastes are very similar.
Because it was completely different than the other ones.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's why I
oh,
did
that
this. So,
one's
like,
cool.
a lot of what she would do and a lot of what I would do were vastly different. It was actually funny, too, because, like, Vincent and Leanne would do them, and theirs would always end up similar, and then, like, Leanne and Shiloh would do them, and Shiloh's end up more like mine.
Yeah.
So it's always funny how that works, but yeah. Because we've got a bunch of... them. They're really fun. I think your guys' kids would really like it, because there's a lot of different ways you can do it, too. Like, I want to clear out space in the garage and get one of those huge canvases and do like the bucket paint. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They attach like a bucket of paint to a string on the ceiling, poke a hole in the bottom of it, and just fucking spin the bottle.
Spin
or
the
can.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that. That looks like fun. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's not art. You know, anybody could do that." I'm like, "Then do it."
Uh-huh.
But you're not. So shut the fuck up.
Uh-huh. I mean, art is different to everybody, but if you
Yeah.
enjoy it, that's all part of it, right?
Yep. Yeah. Plus, you like when you finish it, you can get this epoxy like resin and essentially glass them, so that you can have this like high level shine to them. It's so cool.
I
But
saw
there's-
somebody, because you can actually, depending on how you swing it, it'll naturally do like the
Pendulums.
the pendulum, the parabola, and everything like that
Yep.
from how you swing
There's a
it or
bunch of
whatever.
different ways.
No, it's very
Um,
cool.
It's so cool. It's legitimately one of my favorite things that I've started doing for painting.
Ryan used to do a whole bunch of stuff with sponges.
Yeah.
Like, before the fire happened, I keep on talking about that. He had a really cool one that I don't know if you intended to do it, but it all ended up like a geometric pattern. The red and orange.
No, that was just all. I didn't think. I just did it.
Mm-hmm. And it
You
came
gotta
out really
elaborate
cool.
here. I don't know what sponge painting like.
I used. What type of sponge is that?
Like an actual sea sponge.
It's like a sea sponge.
Oh, okay.
For
so
texture.
Like like those beige looking ones. They're.
yeah.
Yeah.
Natural.
So I used that as texture. But what I had done was I laid it out where it's like bubbles on the canvas, and there was solid lines in between them. And then I put in these lines towards the center of the bubbles, and I sponged over different colors, but I kept it as a gradient of like red, orange, and yellow. And I saw it as kind of flowers, because that was the intent. But Zell ends up looking at it and she goes, "Oh, that almost looks like a cellular structure."
Yeah, because you had like these spikes too in between. A black. You remember it
Yeah.
was on like a black
Yeah.
background. So it was really cool. But that's the thing about art. If somebody sees it differently than you, I feel like that constitutes as art.
We have a paint pour that Leanne did, and she looks at it. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of looks like a blob." And I'm like, "No, that's a guinea pig." I'm the only one who sees it as a guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always funny shit like that. Yeah. Where you see the one thing no one else sees, or like we have one that everyone's like, "Oh, it looks like a hawk." And I'm like, "No, it looks like a giant talon."
What
But
type
it's like
of paint are you guys using when you do those? Acrylic?
Oh, I think so. I could not tell you offhand. We haven't done it in like 2 years since the move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure though. I think, I don't know if it's acrylic or not.
Have you seen
It's
the guy
really
who
watery.
pours it on his drum set and then he plays the
Yes.
song and it
Yeah.
splashes the ceiling and stuff like
Yup.
that?
That's so cool.
Uh-huh. I mean, they can't bitch about stuff like that because it's better than like these modern paint things where the people like dip their hands in dirt and then they just jump and make a thing on the wall. And
It's
then
like-
you have crowds of people like looking at it like it's a
Yeah.
masterpiece.
Well, it reminds me of the guy I saw. He's in like this giant room with a bunch of people watching, and he's got like 6 buckets of sand, and then he pushes them over,
Yeah.
and then everyone's like, "It's art." I'm like, "No, that's knocked over sand."
Mm-hmm.
Like, how was that? You knocked over some sand, bro. Like, what is
Mhm.
I don't understand. Like, I'd love to understand, but I don't understand. Like, what did you do? I don't get it.
Hey, are you gonna be doing video streams? You said eventually? Is that what you're
Yeah,
working?
probably sometime in June or July, whenever my next Twitch payday goes through, which should be sometime this month.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh. Well,
But-
you know, if you have to wear those tight outfits to make a buck, I won't judge you.
I will judge me. And I probably won't do it. No.
Yeah. Or do the thing where you're streaming but you're asleep. I've seen some people do that. I don't understand what that's about.
I don't understand it either. Yeah.
Have you seen that where
Oh yeah.
they're streaming but they're
streamers
asleep?
talking about it and how they have more viewers when they're asleep than when they're awake.
It's a little creepy, but you
Yeah.
know.
It's I think that's more of a female streamer thing than a guy streamer thing.
You don't know. Maybe some people want to
No,
watch
I think
his-
I know. I think we all know. I think we all know, because there's the hope that I mean, I guarantee you what the hope is. You're right. You're hoping woman streams, woman forgets she's on stream, wakes up, and just starts vigorously masturbating. That's their hope. You know it is. There's no point in denying it. They're all hoping for it.
I
Or,
wasn't
you know,
expecting
they'll get
that answer to
changed
be
and
so
naked.
aggressive.
It's the truth, though. There's no. Look. It's the internet. We all know that's exactly what these fucking weirdos are doing.
Probably.
No, the only purpose to go on OnlyFans apparently is for tutorials. You told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teaches you how to quickly sell pictures of yourself that are wildly inappropriate and unnecessary, that future children you probably won't have can judge you. Like that kid who's getting bullied in school I saw because his mom is an OnlyFans.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but also, like, I feel bad for the kid because he's getting bullied for something that he has no control over.
Yeah, that's what
And it's like,
yeah.
but also, like, you know, your mom's
How?
a dumbass.
Yeah. And I know of girls who are making money just selling pictures of their feet.
Hey, look, those girls are fucking saving the world, okay? Those
Yeah.
ones are different. Those guys buying feet pics, they are a different breed, and they need to be controlled. And those women are saving us from them.
Yeah, and
They
you know
deserve
what?
medals.
They're not showing. And the girl was saying, I never show my face. It's just my feet.
Just
But-
the feet, yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
How
so
many
just-
of those feet are actually men?
Oh, 90%. Easily. You just shave and lather up your feet a shit ton, you'd fucking, yeah, you're making a quick buck. What's like, do you know who Catherine Ryan is?
No.
Okay, so she's like a female comedian from Canada, moved to the UK. She's been on a lot of their shows. She was telling a story once about how there's this guy that offered her like 20 grand a photo if all she had to do was just basically make a video of her with a bunch of balloons and just rubbing on. And she was like, yeah, I didn't do that. And then I went to the bar the next week with some friends of mine, and my friend all of a sudden whipped out like a bunch of money, and I figured out who did do it. I'm like, shit, I mean, 20
yeah.
grand for a fucking balloon, you know?
Yeah,
you don't have to
just
show anything
rub
but
it-
you rubbing balloons. Like, that's a weird kink, and he's clearly ashamed of it, that's why he's paying 20 grand. But
That's a missed
yeah,
opportunity.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah. The weirdest thing, the reason why I was actually laughing about that whole
This falls
game,
into art, by the way, Ryan.
yeah,
Yeah.
an Infinite Dragon, or Like a Dragon, sorry. It's,
Infinite wealth, yeah.
yeah, Infinite, well, the part with the baby, that was the weirdest thing I've ever had a guy ask me to do one time, is to like hold him, and it wasn't Ryan. Well, not that time.
Well, there's a strong difference here. You can be held as a grown man, it's totally fine. It's the diaper that made that shit wild. I assume is what you're talking about on Like a Dragon, the diaper guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's different. That's a different kind of situation.
How about like the whole breastfeeding part though? There's a kink for guys who
See,
just,
I don't get that because the area around a woman's nipple when they're breastfeeding, right? It will change to fit whatever the baby needs, right? Like you
Uh-huh.
can like doesn't the milk change color based on whether the like baby is sick or something like that?
Yeah.
Like I heard like the milk will turn blue or something.
Yeah, they'll have
So
like antibodies and stuff.
yeah, so my fear would be that that would fuck with the health of the baby.
Uh-huh.
But I guess there's that one woman who can't stop lactating,
Uh-huh.
and so I don't. That's just personally, I feel like that's
Very artistic.
medically there's a reason she is lactating, like a real like a woman who's given birth and is breastfeeding. There's a reason she's doing that, and if your kink is to fucking be drinking that milk though
From
it's
the
kinda
tap.
like, yeah, I don't know, it just feels like you're misusing your resource.
But
I
you know,
guess,
there are bodybuilders who pay premium dollar for like human breast milk because of the growth hormones and stuff in it.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now that those guys are fucking idiots. There's no way that that is generating enough growth hormone in their body to be
Yeah,
worth
but-
what they're paying. Like, unless you're like Eddie Hall, who has that fucking like Hercules gene,
Uh-huh.
you're fucked. You just
Yeah.
have to work hard or take steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you know who Eddie Hall is.
No, but I imagine when you say that and you're talking about a guy who's huge, I think of the Mountain, the guy who is on.
Fuck the Mountain. I hate that guy.
Uh,
He's Eddie Hall's like rival.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Eddie Hall, he has this thing called, well, I don't know the exact term, but it's called the Hercules gene, where normally you know how,
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
so he like can generate more muscle than the average person.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah, so like if you don't have that, you're gonna have to do everything legit. And even then, he did everything legit on top of, I'm sure, steroids and other things like that. But like it is what it is. There's no way some fucking boob milk is gonna fucking give you an advantage.
Wow. They
Yeah,
sell
he's the guy who lifted like the most weight ever and then like
Yeah.
damn near died. Yeah.
500 kilograms, 1,100 pounds.
Yeah, and the only way he was able to do it is with the help of a hypnotist.
Oh my god, that's hardcore shit.
Yeah,
That's weird
they-
to me that I could go to him and he could toss me around like a rag doll.
Yeah, I mean he's pulling like buses and shit.
Oh my god.
Not anymore. He's retired, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's impressive, but yeah, there's no way some milk is gonna just. Because like I've watched, there's a YouTuber called Brian, or not YouTube. Well, he's the world's strongest man, like Eddie Hall, they're best friends. But he does a YouTube channel where he talks about like what he has to eat on a daily basis to maintain his size and muscle growth, and it's. I don't think if he added some breast milk, it would help versus what he's already eating. You know.
Isn't that
We're
not
talking-
nuts though? When you get enough like muscle, you can eat a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's eating like a whole cheesecake.
Yeah.
And it's like he doesn't get fat because it's like he's then lifting, you know, 200, 300, 400 pounds over the course of 4 or 5 hours a day, every day, mixed with, like, oh god, you guys know like those little plastic brick patties they sell of like bison meat.
Mm-hmm.
He buys like 6 of those and eats them a day,
Wow.
and then like 6 eggs, you know, fucking a protein shake. And that's, you know, shit like that. It's just wild the amount of like calories and everything he needs daily to maintain a physique of like a world's strongest man. It's wild. But then you watch the shit he does and you're like, okay, no, that fucking makes sense. He just threw that fucking beer keg like 40 feet in the air.
My god.
So, you know, it's yeah, and that's a whole different form of art.
Yeah. I like how you tied that to art.
I would
See?
say bodybuilding and all that is a world. Well, bodybuilding is different than being a strongman, but they're both forms of art.
Mm-hmm. We
But,
stayed
man.
within art. I mean, feet
If I just keep
pictures
saying
is a
art.
photo, which is art.
Yeah.
Yeah. The body itself,
Art.
it's art. Yeah. So we did good.
Babies, art, breastfeeding. See, those connect.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you don't like children, in which case then it's not art. It's maybe a nightmare. I don't know.
But anyways, I guess on that note,
Thanks for listening, and we will be back next week.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.